Uh, trying to do a little quick conversation about Zephaniah, the so-called what they scholars label him as a minor prophet, and he was before the Babylonian captivity. So I just want to go over a few things which Zephaniah was actually prophesying and showing you how the last captivity of Israel also pulled a little of the information from Zephaniah dealing with captivity itself, as well as what to expect in the captivity, because each captivity had the curses in it of Moses. So, that being said, let's get into it. And once again, the Bible does not go past the Roman Empire. The word of the Lord which came to unto Zephaniah, the son of Cushi, the son of Gedaliah, the son of Amariah, the son of Hezekiah, in the days of Josiah, the son of Amon, king of Judah. So this was during Josiah, and Josiah was actually one of the good kings, one of the godly kings. So let's see what was prophesied unto Jerusalem then. Verse 2, I will utterly consume all things from off the land, said the Lord. I will consume man and beast. I will consume the fowls of the heaven and the fishes of the sea and the stumbling blocks with the wicked. I will cut off man from off the land, said the Lord. Okay, what we're doing first off is understanding how the Most High describes and explains his judgment to mankind. So, look, he said, I will consume man and beast. I will consume the fowls of the heaven and the fishes of the sea and the stumbling blocks with the wicked, and I will cut off man from off the land, said the Lord. So now, we know that during the Babylonian captivity, I believe King Nebuchadnezzar actually sacked Jerusalem like 3 times, I believe. I had to look it up, but I believe it's 3 times. But anyway, did the Most High really consume all of the birds out of the sky and all of the fishes out of the sea and all of the man from the land? Did that really occur literally like the Most High said it was? This was what I want y'all to understand. This is how the Most High expresses himself. Today we will use the words exaggeration, maybe, but I'm not saying that the Most High exaggerates, because that's Father. I'm saying that he overly showed them in the Eastern world how angry he was, how much business he meant, by making the claim that he was so angry that he was willing to do what he did in the days of Noah, which was consume everything. That's how angry he was. They made him feel like he should pull another Noah. All right, verse 4. So once we're talking about things in the New Testament, when y'all said, well, why come the stars ain't fall from heaven? Why come the sky didn't go black? Why come the heavens didn't shake? Why come the earthquakes? This is just how the Most High explains himself, how he explains his wrath and fury. It's not all meant to be taken literal, okay? So now, verse 4. I will also stretch out mine hand upon Judah and upon all the inhabitants of Jerusalem, and I will cut off the remnant of Baal, from this place in the name of the cherubims with the priests, and them that worship the host of heaven upon the housetops, and them that worship and swear by the Lord and swear by Malchim, and them that are turned back from the Lord, and from those that have not sought the Lord nor inquired for him. In other words, this is because they was in idolatry. A lot of the captivities happened because of idolatry. That's pretty much it. Stay away from idolatry. That was one of the rules from the beginning. Let's see if I can keep going now. In the same day will I punish all those that leap on the threshold, which fill their master houses with violence and deceit. The violent and deceit. Let's see here. Verse 12. And it shall come to pass at that time that I will search Jerusalem with candles, and So is the Most High really coming down with candles in his hand, searching Jerusalem? Once again, this is just how the Most High talked. These are the words that he put in the prophet's mouth to explain himself. He had to dumb himself down in order to speak to humans, mankind. This is how the Most High dumbed himself down to speak to mankind, to explain how he felt. And it should come to pass at that time that I will search Jerusalem with candles and punish the men that are settled on their lees, and say in their heart, the Lord will not do good, neither will he do evil. We got the same people today. The Lord is not going to do nothing. He don't do good, he don't do evil. He will just let everything happen. Why come the Most High is not intervening? Why come this, and that? They had the same thing going on back then. Therefore, their good shall become a booty, and their houses a desolation. That's important because this is one of the main speeches dealing with how the Most High handled Jerusalem. He always made their house a desolation, mainly the temple. They shall also build houses, but not inhabit them. And they shall plant vineyards, but not drink the wine thereof. Now, where did we hear that from? Where did we hear that from? That they shall build houses, but not inhabit them. And they shall plant vineyards, but not drink of the wine thereof. Let's see here. That, my friends, is a curse, right? Isn't that one of the curses, or two of the curses of Moses? Let's see here if I can find it. Let's see here. He said, they should build houses, but not inhabit them, and they should plant vineyards, but not drink the wine thereof. And we can find the same thing in Deuteronomy 28 and 39. Thou shalt plant vineyards and dress them, but shall neither drink of the wine nor gather the grapes, for the worm shall eat them. And let's see if we can find the inhabitant for the houses. Man. Let's see here. And if y'all know the verse, this will let me know. I think it's in here somewhere, ain't it? Y'all I don't want to concentrate too much on it. I'm gonna look at it one more time. If I can't find it, I'm gonna keep moving. But I'm pretty sure it was saying something like you should build homes but not inhabit them. Road oppressor. No, she's on the top of the head, bring a nation, God with a stone. Well, we can find that in Babylon too. The Lord shall bring thee and thy king, which thou set over thee, into a nation which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, and there shalt thou serve other gods, wood and stone. That happened during the Babylonian captivity. And there was a byword, and look, and thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb and a byword among all nations, whither the Lord shall lead thee. That's one of the things that happened to Babylon also. Let's keep going. Verse 52, and he shall besiege thee in all thy gates until thy high and fenced wall come down, wherein thou trustest throughout all thy land. This is Jerusalem. And he shall besiege thee in all thy gates throughout all thy land, which the Lord God had given thee. Let's. 'Let's 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 I can't find it right now. I know it's there, but I'm not gonna keep looking. The great day of the Lord is near, and look, they call this judgment the great day of the Lord. So once we look at in the New Testament, when it's talking about the day of the Lord, the great day of the Lord, understand that it's talking about a nation coming, a nation coming. The Most High is using a nation to do his judgment. That's the whole point. So the great day of the Lord is near. It is near, and has hasted greatly. Even the voice of the day of the Lord. The mighty men shall cry there bitterly. And that day is a day of wrath, a day of trouble, of distress, a day of wasteness and desolation, a day of darkness and gloominess, a day of clouds and thick darkness. So once again, this is talking about, hold on, let me raise this, kind of dead some of that sound from the truck. Once again, this is talking about when Babylon was coming to destroy Jerusalem. And I want to go through it again. There is a day of wrath, a day of trouble and distress, a day of wasteness and desolation, a day of darkness and gloominess, a day of clouds and thick darkness. So, that's when Babylon was coming to destroy Jerusalem. So now let's go to Matthew 24. And I'm just showing you how the Most High spoke dealing with his destruction. And Christ did nothing that the Father didn't do. Christ talked just like the Father. And let's see what he said. Verse 30. Let's see here. You got right here, you got great tribulation. You got the sun darkened, the moon shall not give off her light, the stars shall fall from heaven, and the powers of heaven shaken. Let's see, I'm pretty sure it said something about there will be distress in the land. Let's see here. Maybe it's in Luke 21. Let's see. I know somebody said there will be distress in the land. There you go right there, verse 23. For there shall be great distress in the land and wrath upon this people. We got the distress, we got the wrath, we got the darkness, we got the earthquakes, we got the stars falling. It's the same type of language that they used in Zephaniah about Babylon coming to destroy Jerusalem. So, let's see, right where we at? And I think I skipped verse 8, but I want to do that too. And it should come to pass in that day of the Lord's sacrifice that I will punish the princes and kings' children and all such as are clothed with strange apparel. Where do we find that at? In Revelation. Let's see, 6 and right there. And all the kings of the earth, and the great men, and the rich men, and the chief captains, and the mighty men, and every bondman, and every free man hid themselves in the dens and the rocks of the mountains, and said to the mountains and rocks, fall on us, and hide us from the face of him that sitteth on the throne, and from the wrath of the Lamb. For the great day of his wrath is come, and who shall be able to stand? So we can see that this is language dealing with a nation coming to destroy Jerusalem. In Zephaniah, it was Babylon. In Revelation, it was Rome. In Matthew, it was Rome. Here is Babylon. They're using the prophets pick this the way they explain things up from the Old Testament. They're just explaining the way that the Old Testament saints did. Or sorry, the prophets. So, And look, they call it the great day of the Lord, the day of wrath. Look, a day of the trumpet and alarm against the fenced cities and against the high towers. And I will bring distress upon men, and they shall walk like blind men, because they have sinned against the Lord, and their blood shall be poured out as dust and flesh as the dung. So once again, you have Luke 21. Luke 21, we have we got the day of vengeance. But in Luke 21, it said all things written may be fulfilled. That's the difference between Luke 21 and all the rest of them. But look, we got men's heart failing from fear, looking after those which are coming. We got the powers of heaven shaking. I showed you earlier with the distress in the land. It was verse 23. Great distress in the land and wrath upon this people. And let's go to Matthew. No, let's go to Mark 13. And we have no, let's go to Matthew because he don't have it right there. So let's go to Matthew. Matthew 24. It says, and he shall send his angels with the sound of a great trumpet, and they shall gather together the elect. We have, and a trumpet and alarm against the fenced cities, against the high towers, and I will bring distress. See, we have, this is the same language used in the New Testament about Rome. See, a lot of people don't understand that all of that is talking about is just a nation coming against Jerusalem. What nation was coming against Jerusalem in the New Testament? It was Rome. So a lot of people is not understanding that this is just the language that the prophets used. It's not to be taken like literally. This is just the language that they used. So let's keep going on. And it's saying, neither their silver nor their gold shall be able to deliver them in the day of the Lord's wrath, but the whole land shall be devoured by the fire of his jealousy. Once again, the land shall be devoured by the fire of his jealousy. Once you go into Revelation 21, no, it's not 21, it is, let's see, 20, and you have death and hell was cast into the lake of fire. This is the second death. And whosoever was not found written in the book of life was cast into the lake of fire. And then when they shall see the smoke of her burning. All of that is just how the Most High explained the nation coming against Jerusalem. Once again, in the New Testament is Rome, which was the fourth beast. In Zephaniah is Babylon, which was the first beast. All right. Gather yourself together, gather together, O nation, not desired. We have a gathering right there. We have a gathering together in Matthew 24. I'm just here to show y'all that this is just language that they use. We had always had a scattering and a gathering, dealing with these judgments. All judgments have a gathering and scattering. So this is when people be like, why come we ain't gathered together? Why come they ain't did this and that? Okay, this is just part of the judgment language. We are gathered together under the gospel. He's not literally going to gather these people. But anyway, verse 31. And they shall gather together his elect from the four winds, one end of heaven to the other. So you have the sound of the trumpet, then you have the gathering. Here you have the sound of the trumpet, and then you have the gathering. It's all the same. That's what I'm saying. You got to actually go in there and read and learn the Bible before you try to teach it or debate people about the Bible, because the Bible usually have a theme. So I advise you to go do the work before you try to debate somebody. All right, so now Zephaniah 2:2. Before the decree bring forth, before the day pass as the chaff, before the fierce anger of the Lord come upon you, before the day of the Lord's anger come unto you, seek ye the Lord, all ye meek of the earth, which have wrought his judgment. Seek righteousness, seek meekness. It may be ye shall be hid in the day of the Lord's anger. So they had to be meek in order to be hid from the Lord's anger. And remember, the meek inherits the earth. Blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth. So now, how was they hid from the Lord's anger in the New Testament? Well, Mark 13 should be able to explain this one. Let's see here. Right there, verse 14. When you see the abomination of desolation spoken of by Daniel the prophet, standing where it not be, let him that read it understand it. Then let them be in Judea, flee to the mountains. So in the New Testament, they was not hid because they listened to Christ and fled into the mountains. I mean, they were hid because they listened to Christ and fled into the mountains. In Zephaniah, they had to pray for the, what do they have to do right here? Seek the Lord. That's it. Seek the Lord. Seek righteousness. The righteousness was Christ in the New Testament. All they had to do was listen to Christ. He was the righteousness. All right. For Gaza has forsaken and Ascalon a desolation. They shall drive out Ashdod at the noonday, and Ekron shall be rooted up. All right. Let's see if we can find anything else. I have heard, and the coast for the remnant of the house of Judah, they shall feed thereupon. In the houses of Ascalon, they shall live down in the evening, for the Lord their God shall visit them and turn away their captivity. We have that theme throughout the scriptures. It's going to be judgment, and then the Most High was going to turn away the remnant or spare the remnant from that captivity. We see that throughout scriptures. Let's see if I can find one. Let's see. Maybe. See, we got right here that he's gathering all the nation against Jerusalem and to take them into captivity. And then, let's see here. We got verse 5 when he's telling them to flee into the mountains in Zechariah, which is the same thing Christ told them. Because this was speaking on the same subject, the Roman destroying them. See, look right here. Then verse 11. We got all that destruction, but then it says, but Jerusalem shall be safely inhabited. And the people who fought against Jerusalem, their flesh shall consume away and stand upon their feet. And let's see. Judah shall find Jerusalem. The day shall be the bell. Look, yea, every pot in Jerusalem and in Judea shall be holiness unto the Lord of hosts, and they shall sacrifice shall come and take them, blah, blah, this and that. I'm just showing y'all that the theme of the Bible always had been captivity, then resurrection, or then the gathering, or then the Most High avenging those who took Jerusalem captive. And he did that. Babylon took Jerusalem captive, and then Babylon was taken captive. Medo-Persia took them, and then Medo-Persia was taken captive. Greece took them, and then Greece was taken captive. Roman took them, and then the Romans were taken captive. So, It was always payback for those who did evil to the Most High. Now let's see here. Flock shall lie down in the midst of her enemies. See if I can find them more. Let me see anything more. Woe to her that is filthy and polluted, to the oppressing city. She obeyed not the voice, she received not correction. She trusted not the Lord, she drew not near to her God. Oh, y'all gonna have to go in. Her princes within her are roaring lions. Her judges are even wolves. They gnaw not the bones till the marrow. Remember, they are roaring lions though. What does Satan do? He walk around like a roaring lion. So we have a correlation between Satan and the princes, or the people that was in charge during Israel. Are in Jerusalem. Her prophets are light and treacherous persons. Her priests have polluted the sanctuary. They have done violence to the law. See, so this is talking about Jerusalem. And we have the princes of Jerusalem walking around like roaring lions. We have Satan being a roaring lion. So this should show you that this is more than just a deity that it's talking about. Satan has always been the adversary. And this adversary is the princes. In some places, Satan is actually the flesh. So it is what it is. The just Lord is in the midst thereof. He will not do iniquity. Every morning do he bring his judgment to light. He faileth not, but the unjust knoweth no shame. I have cut off the nations till their towers. So I have cut off the nation, their towers are desolate. I made their streets waste. None passes by. Their cities are destroyed, so that there is no man, there is none inhabitant. Once again, this is just language dealing with the destruction that Most High puts upon Israel through the oppressors, or whoever he chooses, which was the four beasts in Daniel. Let's see. Therefore wait ye upon me, said the Lord, until the day that I rise up to the prey. For my determination is to gather the nations. See, we have a gatherer right there, that I may assemble the kingdoms, to pour upon them my indignation, even all my fierce anger. For all the earth shall be devoured with the fire of my jealousy. So we have the destruction of Jerusalem. Then we have the gathering of back of Jerusalem, and the nations being destroyed for destroying Jerusalem. Payback or vengeance. This has always been a theme throughout the whole Tanakh. We see the same thing in the New Testament. And how was they avenged in the New Testament? Through the gospel. Judgment was given to all those Israelites, where they became judges and kings and priests when they received the gospel, and they was able to go judge the other nations and bring the other nations captive under the gospel. It's all plain to see. It's just one cycle. Look, he always had a remnant that he saved. The remnant of Israel shall do no iniquity, nor speak lies, neither shall a deceitful tongue be found in their mouth. And they shall feed and lie down, and none shall make them afraid. That's the same thing that went on in the New Testament with those that listened to Christ. Those was the Christians. See, it's the same theme throughout the Bible. In that day it shall be said to Jerusalem, fear thou not, and to Zion, let not thine hands be slack. Look, I will gather them that are sorrowful for the solemn assembly. That's the assembly that we see in Revelation. Let's see. Let's look at the assembly real fast. I heard a number of them that were sealed was 144,000. And behold, lo, a great multitude which no man can number, of all nations and kindreds and tongues and people, and stood before the throne and before the Lamb, clothed with white robes and palms in their hands. That's the assembly right there. And Hebrews also, and then I got to go in because I know they're waiting on me. In Hebrews we have, was it Hebrews 10? Let's see, it's a 10. Nope. 12. It's 12. Right there. But ye are coming to Mount Zion and to the city of the living God, the heavenly Jerusalem, and to a innumerable company of angels, to the general assembly of the church and of the firstborn, which are written in heaven, and to God, the judge of all, and to the spirits of just men made perfect. See? So we have the assembly right there, a remnant of Israel. The Lord has taken the judgment. Let's see. Time to find a man that line. Hate their enemies. Remember, should do an equally found. But the Lord has taken away thy judgment. O daughter of shout, daughter of Jerusalem, the Lord. All right, so we have the judgment being taken away now, and the enemies of Israel is gone. The King of Israel, even the Lord, is in the midst of thee. They shall see evil. They shall not see evil anymore. So right here we have the Lord coming back during the Babylonian captivity to sit amongst men. In the New Testament, he comes back during the destruction of the temple by Rome, and he tabernacles with mankind again. Once again, this has always been the theme. And in that day it shall be said to Jerusalem, fear thou not, and to let not their hands slack. And the Lord their God in the midst of thee mighty. He will save, he will rejoice over thee. He will rest in his love, and he will joy over thee with singing. And I will gather them at the solemn assembly. That's what I'm looking for. I just showed the assembly. Behold, at that time I will undo all of the affliction unto thee. I will save her that halted, and gather her that was driven out. I will give them praise and fame in every land where they have been put to shame. That's the same promise that was given when the gospel spread. They're going to be kings and priests of the earth. So that means it's the fame right there, because everybody's going to know about them. And we see the same thing in Isaiah 66? 60. Hold on. I think it's 66. Let me see. Right there. 66:19. I will set up a sign among them, and I will send those that escape of them into the nations. Neither have seen my glory. Let's see here. The sanctifying, and I know thy works. You can see all in one. There we go, right here. They draw the bow to Tabal and Javan, to the isles far off, that have not heard my fame, neither have seen my glory. So the fame of the Most High was through judgment. The fame of the Most High at the end was through judgment from Rome. The fame of the Most High has always been the gathering of his people after he destroyed those evil wicked ones in judgment. And at that time I will bring you again, even at that time that I gather you, for I will make you a name and a praise among all people of the earth when I turn back your captivity before your eyes, said the Lord. We see the same thing in the New Testament during the final judgment, during the end. Nothing has changed. The Most High uses that same cycle throughout the whole entire scriptures. It shows you that not everything that you're reading is supposed to be taken literal. You're supposed to know this information. You're supposed to know how the Hebrew mindset, how the Hebrews thought, how the Most High explained himself. You're supposed to know all of this stuff. So quit thinking everything is so literal when you're reading scriptures, especially dealing with judgment. This is just how the Most High talks. This is how he expresses himself. Welcome to the kingdom.